welcome with me Gabriella to the stage. A huge round of applause for Gabriella. Some of you may have seen Gabriella's great first presentation in the earlier class, and I'm so pleased that Gabriella has the schedule that has permitted her to do both classes. Give me one moment. Let me set this up. As usual for student presentations, we will be using the channel, Student Presentations. I am making that available right now. All right, everyone, you can now go to Student Presentations, and what you will see there is the first slide everyone should see in Student Presentations. The first slide, connectors and linkers, and their importance in speech. We're using the same channel that we do for all student presentations. The higher up from there are the photos, the images that we use from Share My Art. It's the same channel that we used. I'll give everyone a moment to be able to see that. We will see the presentation in student presentation, giving everybody a chance to get there, giving everyone a chance to get there. All right, perfect. Everyone, Gabriella has made an amazing presentation. It is on those important words, connectors and linkers. There are so many things that are so great about Gabriella's presentation. In our classes, we learn in the natural way. We learn all the aspects of language, including grammar, but we never focus on grammar. We don't focus on rules of grammar. We learn in that natural way. And Gabriella has put together an amazing presentation that does just that. We will become exposed to so many great words, and Gabriella has done it in such an effective way where you will see many examples. There is so much great content in Gabriella's presentation. We're going to leave lots of time at the end for you to be able to ask any questions about the content, about Gabriella's presentation. I'm sure you're going to want Gabriella to return for more presentations that go into more depth about the many there's so much content, and I'm sure you're going to want Gabriella to come back to go into more detail of many of the specifics. You're welcome to ask her to do that and let her know what you would like to hear more about, but we will certainly leave time for questions at the end. Gabriella, I'm so pleased to have you back for the presentation. Great, so great.
Before I start, can you hear me?
Very clearly, very clearly.
Okay.
Very clearly. All right, everyone, we are in student presentation where you can see the presentation once Gabriella has completed. The presentation itself will be about 20 minutes, and when that's completed, we'll return to classes chat for the question and answer portion of Gabriella's amazing presentation. Gabriella, welcome back whenever you're ready.
Okay, I can start right now.
Perfect.
Okay, so in this presentation, I will talk about connectors and linkers. These are words that are used to connect our ideas logically. So when we speak or when we write, we have to think about something before starting to write or to speak. So our ideas in our mind are connected, and when we started to speak, too many notifications. So when we start to speak or to write, we have to translate our ideas in words. So as the words are connected in our mind, we have to connect them also when we speak and when we write. For doing this, we can use these words, so connectors and linkers, and this is why these words are so important. New slide, next slide. Okay. So the difference between connectors and linker is that connectors are used to connect two words, whereas linkers are used to connect two sentences. So here we have an example of how we can use linkers. So we have two sentences. The first one is I study in a scientific school, and the other one is I like science. We can connect these sentences by using the connector, the linker because. In this way, the sentence will become I study in a scientific school because I like science. Okay, next slide. Okay, so I've divided these words by their usage. So according to their usage, to their aim, here we have, for example, the words or the expressions that are used to add information. So I've also colored the words in different colors. The pink ones are those that are used more in speech or those that I encountered more in speech. The blue ones are those that I encountered more in text, whereas the orange ones are those that I encountered both in speech and in text. So let's read the words at first. So the words are and, also, as well as, in addition, besides this, furthermore, and moreover. Well, I want to make clearer the idea of how using linkers. And for doing this, we can read the first two examples. I like singing and dancing is the first sentence, and the second one is I also enjoy listening to music. We can connect these two sentences by using and. And in this way, the longer sentence will become I like singing and dancing, and I also enjoy listening to music. We can replace also with as well. As well is basically a synonym of also. The difference is that as well has to be at the end of the sentence. So if we replace it, the longer sentence will become I like singing and dancing and I enjoy listening to music as well. As well as is used in the middle of the sentence, whereas in addition and besides this are used after a comma. On the other hand, furthermore and moreover are usually used at the beginning of a sentence. Next slide. Okay, in this slide, we have those words that are used to explain the cause or the effect of something. Well, here we have the words because, so, thus, for this reason, therefore, consequently, due to, and owing to. Before explaining these words, I want to focus on why these words are so useful. Let's suppose we have to talk about something. We have to explain why our idea is true or false, why we believe in our idea. For doing this, we can use these words. So I want to focus on the two last examples, which the two pairs of words, which are two examples of how to explain the cause and how to explain the effects of something. Indeed, because, for this reason, and due to, owing to are used to explain the cause, whereas so, thus, therefore, and consequently are used to explain the effect of something. So let's focus on the two last pairs of words. We have therefore and consequently. For them, we have an important quote by Cartesio, which is, I think, therefore I am. So, therefore is used to explain the effect of something, and in this situation, it is used to explain the effect of the action of thinking. The other pairs of two words are due to and owing to. So we can read the example. The game was delayed due to bad weather. Here we are explaining the cause of the delay, which was bad weather. Next slide. Well, here we have those words that are used to make contrast. This is really important when we speak as well as when we write. So, especially because we have to make our speech and our text more interesting, so we have to make contrast between our ideas. So here we have the words however, but, whereas, on the one hand, on the other hand, nevertheless, although, in spite of, and despite. Actually, there's another word which is even though. Well, in this slide, I want to focus on the orange words. So the first one is whereas. Let's read the examples. Example, he likes broccoli, whereas she hates it. So here we are making contrast between a man and a woman. So a man that likes broccoli and a woman that hates it. Then we have on the one hand and on the other hand. In the first example, I used them both, so let's read that. On the one hand, it will be quicker to fly to Manchester. On the other, it would be more expensive than the train. So here we are discussing about two ways of getting to Manchester. Let's read the other example too. I really want to see this film. On the other hand, it's raining and I'm tired. So, as you can see, on the other hand is just a synonym of however and but. It's just another way to say the same concept. So let's replace on the other hand with however. I really want to see this film. However, it's raining and I'm tired. As you can see, the meaning is the same. In this slide, the other more interesting words are although, in spite of, and despite. So let's read the example about them. I see her all the time, although I never speak to her. Next slide. Well, here we have those words that are used for sequencing. So imagine we have to tell a story. We have to write a story. So we have to say something about the past, tell something about the past. For doing this, we can use these words. These are then, next, after that, finally, in the end, at the end, and firstly. There is another word which is a synonym of after that, which is afterwards. Well, let's focus on after that. We went to see a film and after that had a meal in an Italian restaurant. Next slide. Okay. Here we have the words that are used for comparison, which are really similar to those that are used to make contrast. So here we have the words similarly and despite this. Let's read the examples. The two dogs were very alike in temperament and behaved similarly. The other example is Liam has a heart condition. Despite this, He is an active little boy. Okay, so the difference between making contrast and making comparison is that basically when we do a comparison, we are discussing about two ideas that are similar. So this is why they are different. Next slide. Okay, so here we have my favorite words that are used to emphasize some concept. This is really important because we have to um, focus on some ideas sometime, and to do this, we have to use these words. These are, in fact, specifically, in particular, indeed, and above all. So, one really beautiful word here is indeed. It is a synonym of in fact. And I also posted here the link of a podcast where people discuss about these words. So you can find it on allearsenglish.com just by searching indeed in the search bar. By now, let's read the example about it. So, yes, indeed, I do plan to eat out tonight. Okay, so we can here imagine that the person is actually asking someone to eat out if the person is eating out tonight. So, for example, do you plan to eat out tonight? And the answer can be yes, indeed, I do plan to eat out tonight. Okay, so now let's move on the next expression, which is above all, which is a great special expression that we can use even in essays. So let's read the example. Above all, Louis wants to become a nurse. Okay, next slide. In this slide, we have the words that are used for persuasion. So imagine a situation where you want that the others pay attention to your idea. So for doing this, we can use this expression, these words, which are of course and undoubtedly. Undoubtedly is also a great example of word formation because it is formed by using the word doubt, which means something uncertain. The suffix L and Y at the end make the word an adverb, whereas the U and N as a prefix at the beginning of the word is negating that the thing is uncertain. So let's read the example. There are undoubtedly few reasons for celebration. So here we can imagine that someone wants to celebrate something, but something bad happened. So we can say that there are undoubtedly few reasons for celebration. Next slide. Okay, so here we have those words that can be really useful when we have to explain clearer some concepts. So these words are used for illustration. Um, the first one is, for example, I think that all of us already have seen this. Then we have in other words, such as and for instance. For instance is basically a synonym of for example, whereas in other words and such as are a little bit different. So let's read the examples about that. So the first one is I would love to go, but I have a lot to do. In other words, I don't have time. Okay, so now let's read the other example. I like filming racing cars, such as this Ferrari. Okay, next slide. Okay, here we have the last two words that are used for opinion. So let's say you are expressing your idea, so you can use these words in this occasion. The words are obviously, which is again another example of word formation. Here we have an adverb, and we can see this because at the end we have the L and the Y. So we can read the example about it. You will obviously burn your hand on the stove. The other expression is it would seem. So it would seem he's very smart. Next slide. Okay, so this is the end of the presentation. I really hope you enjoyed it and that these words will help you in the future in your English learning process.
Everyone, join us back in classes chat. Join us back in classes chat. And first, a huge round of applause for Gabriella's amazing presentation. Gabriella, look at your applause. Look at
Thank
that
you.
response. Everyone, a huge round of applause. What an amazing presentation. What an amazing presentation. You can hear the applause. You can feel the applause. Gabriella, take a look at that. Take a look at that.
Thank you.
What an amazing presentation. And Gabriella demonstrated in the best possible way by showing how things are used in that natural way that we learn. What an amazing presentation. What an amazing presentation. And we just begun. We will now take as much time as you would like for questions about Gabriella's presentation. And if you would like more presentations from Gabriella about some of the specifics, there was so much great content, please let her know. There were all... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I've just seen a question.
Yes, there were. I noticed, I was also in student presentation, and I noticed when I first came over to the chat that there were some questions higher up. So if you asked a question in the chat, type it again. We're now at the bottom of the chat. So I don't want to miss any of the earlier questions. If you asked a question during the presentation, go ahead and type them again. And as you type them here in the bottom of the chat, Gabriella will see them, will read them, and will answer those questions. So go ahead and type those questions again, and we'll go through them one of a time. The slides will be available. Generally, student presentation, that channel is not open between classes. We'll think about whether we should keep them open. All the slides from prior presentations are there. Generally, the channel has been closed. We'll think about perhaps keeping it open. Okay, the first question was Coconut DJ. Go ahead and start there, Gabriella.
Can you repeat how to pronounce whereas, please? Okay, I've answered the question by reading it. It's whereas.
Perfect.
Okay, then there's another question. What is the difference between for example and for instance? I didn't get it. Actually, there is no difference. They are synonyms. Basically, maybe the main difference is that for instance is more formal, is more advanced, and it's more of an advanced expression. Whereas, for example, is more used so in every situation. I don't know. Some subtitle indeed. Well, I hope I answered your question about the for example and for instance. Let me know if it's okay for you. Then I noticed colors for each linker and connectors. What did they mean? So just to organize the words. So the pink ones were those that are more basic, the ones that are used more in speech, so they aren't so formal. Whereas the orange were the medium ones, so I encountered them both in speech and in text. Whereas the blue ones were the more formal, that you can use the even when you write. So even if you are an intermediate or advanced student, you can use them when you write your essay, for instance. Okay. I don't understand what Maxim FR said. Subtle indeed.
So Maxime was saying that the difference was a subtle difference, was a slight difference between, for example, and for instance, as you were saying, that they're very similar. That it's a subtle difference. They're very close. It's very similar. It's difficult to sense the difference between them. They're both very similar.
Okay, can you repeat how to pronounce undoubtedly? Okay, so undoubtedly. Here we have word formation. So the word from what we build the word undoubtedly is doubt. So the word undoubtedly is said like I just pronounce it. So undoubtedly. Then Mr.
And some of those, we often use in class the pronunciation dictionary Forvo as an aid, and Demonade has pasted some of those in. And Diana, thanks for that. Suggestion. And again, students, if you would like Gabriella to return for the presentation, perhaps more details, let her know that, what you would like to see in future presentations, and part of that can be to include more detail of that color coding. Thank you, Diana, so much for that suggestion. So we're down to Vinicius, Gabriella.
Okay.
When do I need to use before I start or firstly?
Okay. Well, it depends on the context. So, firstly, you can use firstly when you are, I don't know how to say this. So, they are similar in some contexts, but they are really different in others. So, for example, when you have to pardon. When we have to list some words, you have to use firstly. So, for example, firstly, I need to wash the dishes. Then I have to, I don't know, vacuum my room, something like that. Before I start, I think it's more formal. For example, when you have to speak, when you start speaking, you can say, before I start, I wanted to mention that someone helped me a lot to do this. I don't know. So before I start is something more formal that I would use when I start speaking, whereas firstly is something that you can use in everyday situations. So when, for example, you are listing something you have to do. I don't know. I'll let you know if it's
Perfect.
okay.
Perfect. And if there are follow-up questions, by all means, as Gabriella just said, let us know the follow-up questions. And Vinicius is letting you know, Gabriella, that was a great explanation, as is your entire presentation. More questions, and perhaps you want to ask Gabriella about her experience as a student. Obviously, her English English learning experiences has been so effective. She has made amazing accomplishments to bring her English to where it is today. Perhaps you would like to ask about her experiences as an English learner as well. Give everybody a chance for some more questions.
Yeah, of course.
And people are typing in the chat. We'll give them a chance to do that. And as always, I love the way all students are sharing ideas with each other. As we always say, that is the most important learning. Class introduces so many ideas. Where the real learning takes place is as you practice those and share your ideas, just as you're doing in the chat.
Okay, so there's a question. What is your English level? Well, I don't know. I can't measure myself. So of course, I have B1 certificate. So I'm upper intermediate because I've also studied for the B2, but I couldn't do the exam because of the pandemic. But now I want to become an advanced student, even though I believe that there aren't these levels. It's when you feel comfortable to speak, to write, that's your it's like you are already an advanced student because you have the opportunity to use the language. So this means a lot. It's not about how many words you know or how much certificates you have. It's all about speaking, using the language. So I don't want to say that there are these levels, you know.
And I just want to express my appreciation for Gabriella's answer so much. As we discuss so often in class, levels themselves are often so misleading. I encourage students, unless there is some need to reference a level, to not even think about levels. Language learning, like all the most important things, is so complex. There is, in the same way that we cannot describe ourselves with just one word, there's not one word, one level that describes an individual's overall language ability. Some areas that we're more comfortable with, some areas that we're learning, those change and grow over time. I appreciate so much Gabriella's explanation of it, just as we say in class. The emphasis is on learning for the sake of learning itself, for the joy of learning. Tati's question, Gabriella.
Okay, what do you recommend to improve pronunciation? Well, my experience is really strange because I improved a lot by doing a language exchange experience. So actually, I've taught my native language to a native English speaker online, and he helped me to improve my pronunciation. Even though I think that after these, tips that he gave me, I started improving my pronunciation just by listening to the others. Especially when you listen a lot to podcasts, for example, you notice something that maybe you were pronouncing wrong, and in that moment you actually improve your pronunciation.
Perfect. And a comment on mine's comment and in response to Sigana. Learning is exploration, and it's the important questions are the questions that lead us to deeper exploration. Often the best questions are the ones that don't have answers, that lead us on to further questions. What's important in that, as we explore different words and how they're used, is experiencing them, exposure to them. What I love about that question that Sagana and Minds are pursuing is exploring the words, trying them, finding the situations where one is appropriate, finding the situations where another phrase or word is appropriate. As we discuss in class so often, there is never one particular perfect word. There's never one perfect word, never one perfect phrase, never one perfect sentence. When we engage in communication itself, we can't do that with one word, one phrase, one sentence. Communication are many sentences together, whether it's speaking to each other in person, whether it's in writing. Our exploration of that is the way that we learn in real life, the most effective way to learn. So we don't seek a particular answer even for these questions. Which phrase is use which? We explore using them, and we develop our own abilities to pick and choose the words, the phrases, the sentences that we use in conversation, in writing, and we use so many of them together in each conversation.
Yeah.
All right.
There's another question, which is how much time did you study and practice to get fluency? So I would ask another question before this. How much time did you immerse yourself in the language? So it's not about studying and practicing in the way that maybe we imagine is the right way. So by taking a book and reading. It's about immersing yourself. For example, there are moments where you can't just study English. You don't have the time of studying English. I had, for example, this year a lot of tests, a lot of exams. It was really difficult for me to study English, but nevertheless, I have tried so hard to continue studying English by listening to podcasts, watching videos. Even when I had to prepare for a test, for example, a math test, I watched videos on YouTube in English about that topic. So by doing this, you grab vocabulary, you learn other ways to say the same concept, you learn how to write. You can also find a person with whom you can practice English. So just by typing messages, you will practice your English. So I don't study hours English. I study it. I just immerse myself. I try this. Okay. So I hope I answered your question.
And I think the next one is there from Diana Mavis, and that is up to you. Again, one of the great things about Discord is we can share only as much as we want. So Diana's question as to your native language, that if you want to share that, that's fine. That is completely up to you.
Okay, so my native language is Italian. But actually, I'm bilingual because my mom is Russian, so I speak both Italian and Russian.
Perfect. All right. Any other questions on Gabriella's amazing presentation? Or, again, Gabriella has obviously accomplished so much with her language abilities. Any questions about the presentation, about connectors and linkers, or Gabriella's experience as a learner of languages? Any final questions in the chat? Right. Few more seconds to give people a chance. Few more seconds. Right. Gabriella, what an amazing presentation. Any
There's another
comments?
question.
Yeah.
Do you have any experience? Do you have experience with Cambridge exams? Yeah, unfortunately, yes. I've tried only Cambridge exams, not IELTS or something like that. I think they are great, because they give you a lot of different exercise with whom you can practice reading comprehension, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I really like to practice my English even doing some of those exercises that are given in exams. Um,
And do you have a thought on Real's question whether IELTS is the hardest English exam? I don't know. Do you have a thought on that?
no, I don't. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Um, I appreciate Sagana's question so much. That is, again, that is the most important aspect of our community, of our amazing learning community. The pride we have in each other, the support that we have in each other. And Sagana is such an amazing member of our community, of our family. We come together in this way. In this way, we have the courage, we have the confidence to make these great presentations, to engage in these presentations together. I want to, we only have about 15 minutes left. I expected that we would take this time as we rightfully should have for Gabriella's amazing presentation. We won't have time, I don't want to start any new exercises, but let's continue in the time that we have left. I think Cheeman Ruler is with us. Cheeman Ruler's great classes on grammar, which are so related to Gabriella's amazing presentation. Cheeman Ruler, would you come up and join us for our remaining time? We may end a little early, but I want to focus on Gabriella's amazing presentation. Cheeman Ruler, if you want to come up and join us and offer your perspective from your classes on grammar, so related to to Gabriella's presentation. Wow, hi, Cheeman Ruler. As always,
Hello.
as always, whenever Cheeman Ruler and other great teachers are here, we always want to say hello, make sure everyone, so many of you are familiar with Cheeman Ruler's great classes on grammar. We always want to give Cheeman Ruler a chance to say hello and let students know about that. But in particular, with Gabriella's great presentation. And again, what was so effective, what was so well done about Gabriella's presentation was how she described what are these sometimes difficult to understand different words and how to use them. What she did so well was show us by example, give us so many examples of how we use these, and present them from the perspective not of rules, but ideas. How are these words, how are these concepts used in language and communication, in speech and in writing? Cheeman Ruler, I definitely wanted to have you join us, not just to say hello, but to offer your perspective on Gabriella's great presentation.
Oh, okay. Well, hi, you two. As Alan said, I am a teacher here on the English server, and I do have classes on grammar. And Demon just posted YouTube. I mean, my YouTube channel, English with Mr. C, where I post all my recorded classes. And I'm also trying to do more comprehensible input videos where I just, instead of just telling you about grammar, I just show you. I just instead teach you grammar the natural way. So I teach you English the natural way, and like whether it's playing games, or telling you about telling you stories or anything like that. So I'm trying to do more of that. Um, and I did like Gabriella's presentation. It was very interesting. Um, regarding what regarding what you just said, Alan, about learning grammar the natural way rather than focusing on rules. That's very important because, and I've been saying this in many of your classes, but because it does not, it's grammar isn't really acquired through rules. We don't acquire grammar of a language through rules. We don't. We acquire the grammar of a language with exposure. We do it with experience. Where languages aren't really something you can just study and then be done with. No, we don't work that way. We learn language through experience. And if we focus so much on grammar, we focus so much on on whether or not we sound native or whether or not we sound correct, when that's not really what we should be doing. We should be focusing on being understood. And if you focus so much on grammar, you won't do that. Grammar is best learned through experience, and the focus should be on communication and self expression. So you don't really need to know what the present subjunctive is in English or in any language like Spanish for that matter to be able to use it correctly. You just don't need to. Um, but that's really all I want to say. Just instead of focusing so much on grammar or trying to sound perfect or native or anything like that, just focus on trying to be understood. And that's the important thing here. Um, just look at Gabriella. She's already come a long way, and her English is very good. So,
Thank you.
oh, you're welcome. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, as always, so much for being with us, Chiman Ruler. Gabriella, I want to give the final comments to you. Gabriella, I want to thank you so much for all the time that you put in. What an amazing presentation you put together. And what one thing that was so great about it was the simple joy, the excitement, the love for the language itself that Gabriella showed. Gabriella shared with me her wanting to do the presentation out of how much she just likes these words, enjoys using them. This is what we want language to be. When we're having fun, as we say so much in class, when we're having fun, we are, well, having fun. When we are laughing, when we are smiling, we're doing the right thing. We want to experience, just as a child does, that joy of language. Your presentation is so amazing, Gabriella. You showed us so much. We learned so much, and you did it in such an effective way by showing how these words and these concepts are used. Gabriella, I want to give you the final words. Any final thoughts for the audience, for the students, encouragement for their presentations, anything from your experience, your final thoughts to your fellow classmates?
It's difficult right now. Well, firstly, I've seen that a lot of people have sent me messages. So, firstly, if you want to practice speaking or something like that, I think you should use the server. And we have to thank Alan and all the teachers and this server because they give actually us the opportunity to really improve in our language learning process. So I just wanted to say this. You don't have to search, you don't have to pay money for something. You have this beautiful server where you can practice in an effective way.
Gabriella, again, thank you so much. And as part of, go ahead, Chiman Ruler.
Oh, no, I was just saying, yeah, thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. You clearly do understand the language.
And as Gabriella said, thank you so much to the English server. As we often say, thank you to all the staff of the English server, the administrators, the staff, this senior staff, the junior staff. It is only because of their amazing work, all the staff over so many years, that the English server has become the amazing place that it is, that gives all of us so many varied opportunities for exploring English, for practicing English, for our classes, for finding each other, that have given us the place that we have come together and built this amazing community, this amazing family, where we, as we are about to do right now, express our warmth and support for each other in our online community through our applause, in the amazing community that we have built. When we offer these applause to each other, we feel that support, we feel that warmth. We see this on the screen, but we hear these in our ears, we feel this in our heart and in our soul. So many of us have come together and found for the first time the courage and the confidence to explore the talents within us. Language is only one part of that. In our amazing learning community, in our family, we have found the ability to move ever forward in our amazing learning journey. That giant mountain that is ahead, that we will continue climb, and we remember to turn around, to also turn around and to appreciate how far we have come. Cheeman Ruler, as one of the great teachers here, thank you as always for being with us. Thank you for coming up and saying hello. Everyone, watch for Cheeman Ruler's classes in classes info for his announcements. And finally, Gabriella, again, thank you so much. As we saw in the chat, Ninive did record this presentation. And when that is prepared, I will add onto the Notion page where you can find this presentation. Again, any other students who would like to do their own student presentation or student speech, you can find more information on the Notion page. Demone just pasted those links into the chat. If you are interested, make sure that you send me a direct message and let me know. And we will announce soon on the Notion page where you can find the recording of Gabriella's great presentation. Gabriella, just amazing, just perfect, just perfect. Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope you make
this
more.
Opportunity. I'm thinking about this.
Absolutely.
But I don't want to spoil anything.
Gabriella, thank you so much, Cheeman Ruler. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Goodbye for
Bye.
now. All right, everyone, take a look. Cheeman Ruler, thanks so much for being here. We'll see you next time.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, as always. All right, everyone, take a look at my Notion page for upcoming classes. Take a look at classes FAQ for Cheeman Ruler, for information of Cheeman Rulers and other teachers' great classes. Over the weekend, as usual, we will do open question and answer where students are able to ask any questions relating to English learning in general. This is the time in the chat that we say thank you and see you all soon. Thank you, Gabriella. Thank you, everyone, for your amazing community. All right. Common name, welcome back to class. So great to have you here as always. Hi, Minds, welcome back. Good to see you in class. Hi again, Mr. Robot. Good to have you here. Hi, Demonade. As always, Demonade, thank you so much for everything that you do for our classes, all the information that you put together and present. Demonade, everyone, it has put together the forms that we use for feedback, for signing up. Demonade's doing such a great job with that. Thank you so much. Hi, Sagana. As always, thank you for your amazing enthusiasm, your support of so many students. So great to have you in class. Hi again, Chiman Ruler. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your amazing classes. Thanks as always for saying hello. Hi, Emma. Thanks for joining us. Students are always, we're all so busy, and when students can attend even for a short time, as Emma was saying, students are welcome to enter and leave class just as they are able. Hi, Henry. Good to have you with us. Thanks for being with us. Hi, Maxime. Maxime, thank you so much for your great questions. One of the things that makes our learning community so effective is the active support between students asking and answering questions. Again, the most important learning occurs between students. Watch for students who are forming groups in public voice chat rooms and in private direct message groups to practice what we're learning in class, where you have the opportunity to practice your own use of linkers and connectors. Maxime, thank you for your great questions during Gabriella's presentation. Hi, Tahone. Good to have you with us. Thanks for being here. Hi, Eduardo. Thanks for being in class. Ninive, thanks so much for being here. And everyone, a big thanks to Ninive. A big thanks to Ninive for recording Gabriella's presentation. Again, as soon as that's ready, we'll put that link up in the section on my Notion page for student presentations. When that is ready, you will see that in student presentations on my Notion page. Hi, common name. The server is a gift. The server is a gift. The server is a gift, and each one of you is a gift. When we are applauding each other, it's a gift from each of us. When we're applauding each other, we appreciate the gift that is each one of you. You are all so special. You are unique. You are important. You are special. You each are the most important people that you should be yourselves. The gift is as each of you share of yourselves and we come together to make this amazing community, this amazing family. Hi, Dam Klan. Good to have you with us. Vinicius, thank you so much for your great questions. Thank you so much for your great questions. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Gianfra100. Good to have you with us. Hi, Mech. Thanks for your great exercise in the beginning. We had a chance for 2 quick open exercises in the beginning. Mech, thanks for your pronunciation exercise, and you did so well. Hi, Coconut DJ. Welcome back. Good to have you with us as always. Hi again, Mr. Robot. Eduardo, yes, her presentation was absolutely perfect. Hi again, Demonade. Emma. Chiman Ruler, thanks again, Ninive. Tahone, Sagana. Let's see, who have I missed at the bottom of the chat? Hi, Puck. Always great to have you with us. Coconut DJ. Hi, Diana. Good to have you back in class. Diana Mavis, always good to have you with us. Thanks for your great participation. Hi, Tano. Good to have you in class. Tati again. Gabriella. Thank you so much, Gabriella. What an amazing presentation. What an amazing presentation. And thanks for doing both classes. Students who are interested in making a student speech or student's presentation and have a schedule that allows them to present in both classes, you're welcome to do that. Again, to students who are new, I usually teach every day, twice a day, 12 hours apart for students in opposite time zones. And if, like Gabriella, you would like to present in both classes, you are welcome to do that. Hi, Nessie Blossom. So good to have you in class with us. Hi, Klebs. Who have I mixed? Hi, X. Hi, X. Good to have you back with us. Hi, Gianfra. Hi, Random. Good to have you here. Welcome. We welcome all new students. Love having new students. Welcome for your first class with us. Welcome to our community. Hi, Cody. Hi, Killer. Maxime again, thanks for your great questions. Hi, Jijo. Jesus, again, love having new students. Jesus, welcome to your first class with us. Welcome to our community. Welcome to our family. Octavio, Augusto, we have lots of classes. We have classes twice a day. Lots more opportunities. Kim, so glad you're with us. Who have I missed? See, scrolling down. All right, I think that's everybody. All right, everyone. Great class as usual. Take a look at classes FAQ for more teachers, more classes. Take a look at my Notion page for the upcoming schedule. Again, over the weekend, open question and answer. Students' opportunity to ask any questions relating to English learning in general. See you all at the Q&A. Bye, everyone. Demonade, Kim, Chiman Ruler, Mech, Sigana, Demonade, Emma, X, Random Board, Mech, Chiman Ruler, Tati, Kim, Plebs, Gianfra, Niniv, Jijo, Sigana, Sandro. See you all soon. Bye-bye just for now. Bye-bye just for now. Diana Mavis, Coconut DJ. Bye just for now. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.